shine the lights on me. Go time and we don't grind lonely. Shine bright, that's what the lights told me. So I take what's mine and I ride slowly. I ain't got no time for no right moments. So I take what's mine, shine the lights on me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the OZone, live from a hot and steamy Koreatown. This is the Brothers Miller on a very, very excited edition of the OZone for the Fall Classic that feels like summer.
Right? And you call it a steamy day in Koreatown. I call it hot and dry.
It's dry. It's just steamy because it's hot.
Too hot.
It's too hot. Damn. You got the police and that fireman. It's John Blaze out here, folks. We're talking 105, 106.
Jonathan Blaze Sr.
And I mean, things are catching on fire. It's very real.
It's a very
real situation. No, all jokes aside, be careful out there. Hydrate, ladies and gentlemen, because a lot of people are going to catch this heat stroke.
Right, and don't throw those cigarette butts out there either.
Yeah, be responsible,
on,
folks.
Man.
Stop throwing your cigarette butts. Go get a vape. Do something else. Just don't throw your cigarette butts out because it's going to really affect people's lives.
Right.
Just like the World Series is going to affect people's lives.
Especially mine.
And we're here for it.
Crack my head.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the apex of the Ozone's interest. We consider ourselves baseball aficionados, and we love the game. We love the game as a member of the family. The game has been there my whole time. There have been others, but there's never been two lovers like baseball and me. I love it. I love it so much.
And it's in your city.
And this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So you know what we're going to do after we record the Ozone? We're going to head over to Chavez Ravine.
And taking a game.
And we're going to take a game. Have a game.
Not just a game.
No, a World Series matchup of giants.
Right. Let's go through the lineups.
Let's go. All right. We don't even need an intro. Let's go. Toe-to-toe, pound for pound. This is what's popping, ladies and gentlemen. We're headed to Chavez Ravine, and it is the Los Angeles Dodgers, the best team in all of baseball for all season, versus the Houston Astros, who my brother has argued is the best team in baseball for all season. They were only 3 games off, so it's not like it was a leaps and bounds kind of thing.
They had a lot of injuries just like the Dodgers.
Sure did. And both teams weathered the storm. Both teams went through times when they lost. They had losing streaks. Right. The Dodgers more so than the Astros. But the Dodgers had outrageous winning streaks. Like there was a period when you couldn't beat the Dodgers with the 27 Yankees.
But you could say the same thing about the Cleveland Indians. They went through that little run too, and you see what happened to them.
I agree, but they're not in this conversation because they're not here. They're at the house. Who's
what
here?
You looking at, Ernie? Don't shake your head.
Who's here right now is Ernie, Terry, Omar, and these lineups. Let's start.
Lineup by lineup. You name your squad. I'm going to give mine. We're going to match them up. Go ahead.
Well, okay.
You leading off with who?
I'm leading off with Chris Taylor.
And I'm leading off with George Springer.
Monsters. 2 monsters.
Yeah,
but
I take George Springer all day.
But I will say that I think that George Springer, especially if you look at his numbers are incredible. But George Springer hasn't been hitting this postseason.
Yeah, he woke up last game.
He woke up last game. It's going to be interesting to see if that carries over.
Yeah, not only that, George Springer is a better defender.
I agree with that, but Chris Taylor has more flexibility.
Yeah, but he's playing center field.
But he's playing center field.
And George Springer is a center fielder, and Chris Taylor.
And now, my number 2 hitter, I am not concerned that you're going to be able to bring anybody out that can bang with him. Because
I can't bring somebody out, but not the number 2.
This is the man.
Yeah.
And his name, at third base, from Fullerton, California, Justin Turner. Justin Turner at the 3-back.
Yeah, we're going to Alex Bregman. That kid is big.
Alex Bregman's big time, and I can't wait to see him because I talked to him last summer. Face to face, I talked to him last summer, and I told him the world was his, and he had a great attitude. He's got the right amount of arrarrogance to be a Major League Baseball player, but he also he performs.
He performs. That throw that he made is I can't even put nothing on it.
We're talking about the throw in Game 7 where he cut down the run at the plate, which really swung the momentum. They could have ended the game right there.
Yeah.
Because the thing about the Yankees are tricky like that. They're a momentum-based team, more so than most teams.
Right.
Because ultimately, the Yankees were actually playing over their heads. Nobody wants to hear that because all of America are Yankee fans, myself included. I'm not trying to front. I mean, They
went way further than anybody would expect.
They're a year ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
This train is running
out.
If not two. Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Triple OG.
Ladies and gentlemen, star of stage and screen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The
triple OG is in the house.
That's an LA All-Star Jam for y'all who don't know out there. But this is Troy Garity, my friend, my co-star,
That's what's up.
and a fellow Dodger. lover.
He can't be my boy, too, just because I ain't down with the Dodgers. He ain't my boy.
LA All-Star.
We can all get along. We
can get along. Don't be like that.
But you were salty.
I'm not salty because the Stros are there. The Stros are here.
Okay, so earlier, if you guys are new listeners to the OZone, we have our friends and family come on the OZone and offer their opinions. Troy kept his super 100, and he said he thought the Dodgers were going to the World Series, and this is back in May?
Yeah,
early. This is before they got hot.
This is back in like 2003.
So you were early.
Yeah.
You were a bit
if
early.
you just put it out there, eventually your team will hit.
Unless you're the Indians.
I called it.
Or the Twins.
Right.
Ooh. So we're toe-to-toe.
You were at Justin Turner. I give you Bregman. But now the equalizer, which is more than the equalizer, there's not even another player in the league that is like this guy, and that's Jose Altuve.
Jose Altuve is the ultimate. This guy
is the ultimate.
He's the best player in baseball.
Yes, he's a 5-tool player.
That's what it is. He's showing how he can affect the game top to bottom. He won them the series against the Yankees.
Yes.
He did that. Justin Verlander got the MVP because Justin Verlander dealt. There's no two ways about it.
But he also gave it to the Boston Red Sox.
He gives it to everybody. You hit 347 and you hit bombs.
Yes.
I give you guys
a crazy defense.
A quick side note about him. I don't know if I shared this on OZone before. A couple years ago, I did a charity event out in D.C., and I was on the field before an Astros-Nationals game. And I was standing there, and Jeff Lunow came up and started talking to me because he was a fan of CSI Miami. And we started chopping it up, and they were taking infield, outfield. And he was like, "You see that kid out there?" I said, "Yeah, the little guy." He was like, "Yeah." He said, "I got a crazy story about him." He goes, "His name's Altuve." I said, "Yeah, I'm not familiar." And this is he just got on. I think it was like 2011, 2012, maybe 2012, 2013. And he was like, so he's from Puerto Rico. He showed up to a tryout, and literally the coaches said, "Hey man, it's not going to work out. You're just too small. You're undersized." So they sent him away. He sat and he watched the rest of the practice and the tryout, the whole thing. And they thought, okay, that's it. The next day he showed up again. They said, "Hey kid, look, we told you it's not going to work out." The guy comes every single day for 4 or 5 days, however long the tryout was. They finally let him on, and now he's Jose Altuve, league MVP.
Baseball.
Been Betty.
Good to me.
They never seen Freddie Patek before? I mean, come on, man.
I know that scout probably lost his job.
Yeah, baseball is not about size. It's about.
Thank you for that tangent.
That side tangent. So, but the guy that we got in the 3-hole.
Hold up a second. Before there's another level of value to Altuve that gets overlooked.
Lay it on us.
He's a second baseman.
Tight up the middle.
So when you get that offensive output from a second baseman,
right, man.
It's outrageous.
You can't even put a metric on it.
That is such a big quantifier as far as the rest of the value of your lineup. And so when you look at them,
like Pedroia did in Boston,
1 through 9, they're all like 15 to 35 home run hitters. Like they're all threats.
They're all threats.
When your second baseman is putting up numbers like that, you can. I just can't tell you the luxury that affords.
That's what it is. And you can tell he's a leader in the clubhouse. One thing that I love that he did in that Game 7 is they were up 1-0, and literally they changed pitchers to get him out with runners on second and third, and he promptly banged the first pitch in the left field. Like, hey, I'm not going home. This is we need to keep playing.
That's what it's about.
And I'm the one. I'm in the 3-hole. I'm the one.
You need to get me.
Y'all need to be scared of me.
There's nothing better than a little athlete.
It's a monster.
You can root for a little athlete with a big heart.
Because they're like the little brother, like I've had to play against you my whole life.
Right. And you're relentless.
I'm here to destroy you.
Yeah, exactly.
Here to destroy you.
He's relentless.
I mean, he hit 340 this season.
340. Every season.
Yes.
The guy perennially gets 200 hits.
He's a 5-tool player, man. He's got speed.
It all.
He's one of the best base stealers in baseball. He's one of the best base runners in baseball.
He's got a crazy eye.
He's got a crazy eye. He has crazy defense. The defense is
nuts.
It's nuts.
And they are tight up the middle.
Who's our 4-hitter?
Our 3-hitter is a young kid named Cody Bellinger that is the rookie of the year.
Altuve's their 3.
Yeah, as he should be.
And our 3 is Cody.
Yeah. Our 3 is Cody. I would actually, to be honest, you can't front. Stop it. Stop trying.
Keiko's going to carve him up.
Okay, but let's talk about Cody Bellinger. Forget about that. Cody Bellinger almost hit you 40 bombs in 3 months.
Not against lefties.
Whatever to that.
That's what he's going against tonight. He's going against Dallas Keuchel.
Oh, I understand. I understand that tonight.
Terry.
What you got to say?
Stress releases cortisol. Cortisol creates belly fat.
I don't have
belly fat creates heart disease. Heart disease can kill you. So you got to stop hating.
I don't have nothing.
You got to keep it positive.
Monstruoso.
Yeah, but you're like, oh no, it's all about the Rockies.
He was.
Cody Bellinger, Thumbs down.
Yeah, Cody. How can you give Cody thumbs down?
I'm talking about
you
what
just gave him a thumbs down.
I gave him a thumbs down when it comes to Jose Altuve and Cody Bellinger.
Okay,
We give Jose Altuve
is the best hitter
in baseball.
In baseball,
Yeah,
He's the best player in baseball.
Yes, we'll give him. We'll give him he has.
Well, let's go to the 4-hole.
Let's go to the 4-hole.
no doubt
And
about it.
now we get you again.
Cody Bellinger in
Is a
3.
stud.
Right. He
he's
is
a
batting behind the second best hitter
In baseball, 100%.
Yes.
100%. That's
So
where
it's
you
close.
just missed that when you that's what you would just
and
miss.
if Corey Seager at DH
That's going to be positive. But let's stay in line. This is the Dodgers' surprise player, the breakout of the season, and honestly, he forced Dave Roberts to put him in the 4-hole.
As he should have. I'm happy,
Because
very happy for him.
I am too, because I tell you, as a baseball player, Yasiel Puig had to be felt totally disrespected by waking up and seeing Kike Hernandez in the 4-hole, and you're in the 8-hole in a playoff game, and you are the wild horse.
Come on, man.
Come wide the wild horse. He's a wild horse.
If you want to ride.
But Puig has been balling out. I mean, he had a comeback season, solid season, but his postseason, I can't front on Yasiel Puig. He's giving you 5-tool work in this playoff set, which I'm very surprised about.
He's giving you good defense.
He's giving you great eye.
We're seeing the real Yasiel Puig.
He
had to learn the major leagues. He's in the major
100%.
leagues.
I
Like,
completely agree,
come
and
on.
I've been saying that ever since they brought him up. I felt like they put way too much pressure on him.
And he had a hamstring issue. The kid is.
It wasn't even a hamstring issue. It's just he wasn't developed. You know, he ran.
They threw him in the spotlight.
Yeah, and they threw him in the spotlight and they put him on. But even though you have
But he raised up to his level.
But even though you have Yasiel Puig there, we have Carlos, the best shortstop probably in baseball, Carlos Correa.
Really good.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really good.
So,
but I don't
mean-
know about the best shortstop because I think he actually wears Dodger blue.
No,
myself.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Chris Taylor?
No.
Corey Seager.
Corey Seager
Corey
is the
Seager.
truth. But no,
He is the
Correa is the truth.
I mean, it's love. Love is love.
Listen,
Now, to me,
if you go 1 through 9, Dodgers, Astros, I think the Stros actually have an advantage.
I agree.
Oh, no question.
I
because
agree.
The Stros had the best offense in baseball.
I
But
agree. And this is where the
next player.
this is where the advantage
Wait a
comes
minute.
in.
But the next player.
This is where the advantage comes in.
The next player
Was the best player in the world for a good 3 or 4 year period. Nobody knew it.
And
We
he's
only
showing
knew
his
it
ass now.
because we went to the World Baseball Classic. It's
Him and his
Yulieski Gurriel.
brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Yulieski
He's
Gurriel,
the first baseman?
Oh,
when
my goodness.
And he used to be a third baseman / shortstop for the Cuban squad. I'm telling you, it was evident in the first World Baseball Classic in 2009. We were watching. We were like, that guy has it.
He is like better than Derek Jeter.
You're talking crazy.
Yeah.
Why do you say stuff like that? Why did you say stuff
Terry,
like that?
Derek Jeter?
He's better than Derek Jeter? What do you?
He's a first baseman. That's a
What-
terrible
what-
At that
analogy.
point, at that point when I saw him in the World Baseball Classic, he was equivalent to Derek
My
Jeter.
God.
Give me
Derek
Canerico. Give me someone who plays
Derek
first
Jeter's
baseman.
He goes so far.
Terry.
He always goes so
You
far.
got to
The
go
Derek-
always
Because the guy couldn't come over into the States.
always
No, he was
because
in
Derek
extra.
Jeter has given you 20 years of service with 5 rings is why.
Yeah,
That's
but-
not just because the other guy. Whatever the other guy has done ain't that. And I'm a
I guess
big
not,
fan,
because you're stuck on
and
the
I'm
island.
that doesn't mean that he
Can't-
would have got it done. This guy is
Doesn't mean
great.
that he wouldn't have.
Yes, it does.
No, it
Because,
doesn't.
because he didn't. That's how that works.
He never made it over here,
He's here now.
and he's punishing the baseball.
Exactly, but he doesn't have 5 rings, and I bet you when he retires he won't.
Well, listen, I understand you want to compare people to the greats always, but
I understand, but he always
it's
goes
really
too far.
hard to
It always
compare a
goes too far.
shortstop to a first baseman.
I agree, but at the time
that guy-
he was playing
yeah.
playing third and short.
That's like-
but even then, would I rather have him up than Derek Jeter? No. At the end of the day, that it is what it is. We've seen Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter blew it out
I've seen
against
him
Pedro.
too. Yeah.
No, you ain't seen him blow it out against Pedro.
But
at
I've seen him in
Fenway.
the World Baseball Classic, and he was going against some of the best pitching in the world because actually the World Baseball Classic
didn't
is
even
some of
win
the best
that,
baseball you
by
ever
the way.
see in the world.
He
But
didn't even win
it's a
that.
team sport. It's not.
Okay.
They're
Either way it
confusing, like
goes.
Dodger dogs for Chick-fil-A. Like this is just a terrible analogy.
Terrible work. Anyways, and in that we have the hero of Game 5. Kike Hernandez in the 5-hole. Kike, who we've talked about for a long time, we got blessed to sit on the on-deck circle for several years now. We talked to Kike a lot, and he's a clutch dude.
He sure is.
And I'm happy to
Lot
see
of
him
heart.
in the lineup. I do give the advantage in the 5-hole, though, to Yuli Gurriel and the Astros. In the 6-hole, surprisingly.
Kike starting tonight?
It's starting tonight in left field.
Oof, I don't know about that.
Yeah, me personally, I like having Andre Ethier in the game, even though he's a lefty on lefty, whatever. I believe in Andre Ethier, and I have for a long time.
Me too.
Dre is your man.
Dre is my guy, and he's been with this Dodgers incarnation of the Dodgers from the word go.
Yeah, but one of the problems that the Dodgers have tonight which is Clayton Kershaw comes out there halfway limp or whatever, is that they've never seen Dallas Keuchel before. That's a big problem.
Well, okay, let's wait to get to that till the 9 hole. We can run through the rest of them. The 6 hole, we got B-Mac, who's a super clutch player.
He is.
An Atlanta Braves product that's a monster.
Great baseball
Fundamentally
Great baseball player. For his whole career, he's been a great baseball player. Came up in the right organization, knew how to win. And the wild card for the Dodgers in this one, Corey Seager. I'm assuming that if you're 22 years old, after 2 weeks of treatment and you're a professional athlete, you're close to 100%, if not 100%. He's good to go. And when he's good to go, Corey Seager's a problem.
He is a problem.
Kid's a very good baseball player. Very, very good baseball player. Number 7 is somebody I didn't necessarily give a lot of credit to, but I've come around, even though, surprisingly, he had a bad postseason, even though he had a great regular season, and that's Marwin Gonzalez.
But he had a big postseason. He had a couple of big games in the postseason.
He's only hitting like 150.
Yeah, but he had a couple big knocks.
Hits. Yeah, he had a couple big
knocks. That's what it's about.
Versus Terry's favorite Dodger, Logan Forsythe.
Oh, my goodness.
Who has had a monster postseason? You can't front Logan Forsythe.
Logan Forsythe is about to get shut down.
He got you.
Justin Verlander is going to shut him down. Dallas Keuchel is going to shut him down.
Number 8, another player who got shut down.
In there is where the glaring hole lies.
I agree.
Because traditionally your second baseman is an offensive weak link, and this is where the balance is knocked out of the ring with Altuve at playing second base.
It's incredible.
Because most teams, it would be like, all right, another mediocre hitter who may step up. I'm calling
who may
Logan
or may
Forsythe
not.
mediocre. He's a good hitter.
You're giving him credit for being mediocre.
No, he's not. Logan Forsythe is like 220.
But not over his career.
Yes,
but
Logan Forsythe has not been a productive hitter. Has not been a productive baseball player.
Wow, man, that's pretty harsh. But
Terry again.
Tell us how you really feel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Ozone, unfair and partial sports.
But that's traditional. The second baseman is traditional.
There's a handful of guys in the history of the game that have been a super productive.
Right.
Usually it's a guy like Mark Lemke at second base.
Right, and if they can hit,
you're
they
hoping
have
for a big hit every blue moon.
If they can hit, they can't field.
Right. Yeah, and usually they
get one or the other.
You're hoping for defense.
So this is where
but I feel like Logan Forsythe doesn't give you either.
I'm not arguing that.
We have another guy here who had a bad postseason, and that's Josh Reddick. And I will say this. A.J. Hinch has finally made the right decision to drop Josh Reddick to the bottom of the lineup. This is where I felt like he played a lot of games by having Josh Reddick at the top of the lineup. He kept trying to ride. I understand you believe in your guy, blah, 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 blah. You gave him a big contract, but he was 0 for 23. I got to drop you down in the lineup.
Yeah, it's crunch time.
And
he's one of those dudes, though, that like, I woke up and it clicked.
I hit 3 bombs.
Kill you.
I agree.
Yes,
I agree. You're right.
That's why the Dodgers picked him up last year.
Yep, and that's why he made a living.
But I would not let him come in against Clayton Kershaw. I would not.
Who else are you going to put out there?
They have a whole bench full of outfielders that they can put out there that's going to probably do what Josh Reddick is going to do.
I don't know.
I don't know. I would ride with my guy on that one. And then in the 8 hole for the Dodgers, you got Austin Barnes, Troy's favorite player. Speak a little bit about Austin Barnes as a pinch hitter.
Austin Barnes has gone under the radar. Austin Barnes is one of the best right-handed pitching, right-handed hitter,
pinch hitters
in baseball
and catchers. I like him.
And
I like him. I like him against Yasmani.
And when I first said that, people from the Scott Boras group laughed at me.
Really?
But my math is right, and now he's.
We were there. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we were there.
Yeah. But his batting average off the bench against right-handed pitchers is like 340 or 360.
I agree.
He came up big in the playoffs.
He's come up big.
He's come up big.
Yes, he comes. And most importantly, maybe I didn't mean to cut you up. He calls a good game.
Calls a very good game. He is steady. He is level-headed.
And you can see that he's confident.
Yeah,
and
he's good.
In the last series, if we saw anything else, you can see how sloppy work behind the dish can cost. You can argue that Gary Sanchez cost them the series.
You sure can.
No doubt.
I mean, he cost them the series.
No doubt.
Not being able to catch the ball at home plate.
Yes.
Not even. Let's lose the pass balls and whatnot, and that sloppy
balls
work.
That he snatch out of the strike zone and everything else.
Let's just talk about the actual plays at the plate that won them game 1, won them game
and a bad throw
6, 7, and a bad throw out in the center field.
Yeah, he's a bad catcher.
He's a bad catcher, but he can swing the stick.
Stick.
And he's 23, and we've already established they're a year, if not 2 years early. They're ahead of schedule, so you can't be mad at them. But in the 9 hole, the advantage definitely goes to the Dodgers as far as hitting and pitching goes. Yes. Realistically, let's talk about it. We got Clayton Kershaw. They got Dallas Keuchel. Now I'm going to tell you the truth. In my opinion, the super factor in this series that is unknown to me is that on its face and in historically, Dave Roberts is a better manager than A.J. Hinch.
I would agree.
I've seen A.J. Hinch blow games for the Astros and almost blow the series.
Or tried to blow games.
He tried to blow games. I mean, and the most impressive thing that I saw in the last series from A.J. Hinch was that he let Lance McCullers finish Game 7.
Yes.
He wanted so bad to bring in Ken Giles and let him mess up the game. He wanted it so bad.
After he just had to let him throw like 30 pitches
the night before in a non-save situation.
Which was not necessary.
I just, Dave Roberts has pushed every button that's right for 2 years now.
I think that this is when this kind of lineup and this kind of ball playing is going to betray you, because these guys, I like these guys on the Dodgers, but they're not. Most of them are playing like out of position. Most of them are like not platoon players, but they're playing like multiple positions. So like with Chris Taylor playing in center field, when you have a George Springer, a real center fielder, it's not the same, because in these games, if you make a mistake, if you overthrow or whatever you do, can't get to a ball.
That's all fine unless. If you can point to some mistakes that Chris Taylor.
I was going to say that.
No. It's not about that, because George Springer will be able to get to certain balls and stuff that Chris Taylor won't be able to get to, which won't show up in the books, because George Springer is actually an outfielder.
Let's take a step back to managers here for a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Speak on.
It's not just the decision making; it's also the interpersonal decision making. Dave Roberts doesn't let his players push, and they don't, and they don't defeat themselves. If you watch their at bats, they take so many pitches.
Man, they put a lot of pressure on the hitters.
They don't swing at bad pitches. And if a player is pushing, and you watch Dave closely, he brings them in and settles them down and talks to them and reminds them.
I think he's a monster effect on Yasiel Puig. Yeah, monster effect on Yasiel Puig.
And you know what? On Bellinger too. He was pushing in Arizona.
There was a period when he was pushing,
and he pulled Bellinger to the side, and I saw him in the dugout talking to him right there. Let him go. This was in Arizona, and Cody's next at bat. He parked it, and since then, I don't care what we say. He's striking out quite a bit, but he's getting those clutch hits.
But yeah, he's a rookie. I mean, you can't. When you were talking about 4-hole to 4-hole, Correa is ahead of him as far as his career goes. They're
about the same age.
No, but he's ahead of. He's been in the league. This is his second year in the league.
Correa's also the number one pick. Correa's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
That's exactly it. Yeah. And Cody Bellinger has been in the major leagues for all of 3 months. Let's not lose sight on that. Right. Cody Bellinger didn't come up till late May and put up the dumbest numbers maybe ever from.
He did. He's the greatest Dodger rookie of all time.
And
you think?
Well, if you look at just the numbers.
On numbers.
2 months. He missed 2 months. He played 4 months.
And he played center field flawlessly and
he's a great
first base.
He's a great athlete.
He is still bad.
He's a great athlete.
Yeah.
I just think now.
I just heard something about, they said Adrian Gonzalez is in Italy right now.
Forget it, huh?
Good for him. I mean, he ain't on the team, you know what I mean? Like,
he's on Taverna Chalusa.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's out there, getting fat. That's
what do you want from him?
Get his back fixed.
He got a squad there, though. Yeah. But what were you going to say? I'm sorry. You said at this point.
Yeah, but at this point with Bellinger, whatever, I think that this is when he's going to get exploited a little bit by the Astros pitching, because he has a big hole. He has big holes in his swings, and a guy like Dallas Keuchel and Justin Verlander and even Lance McCullers, because actually the Astros have a better front line pitching than the Dodgers.
This is what I wanted to speak about. Is that
one hitter on either of these teams does not make or break the team. That's what I love.
Well, it makes a big difference when he's in the 3-hole.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's always going to be in the 3 or 4. See, Cody Bellinger is a 3 or 4 hitter. He's not a bottom of the lineup guy. Now, to me, I actually think that I agree with T on this. The Astros have the advantage in the front line of the pitching for this reason. We got the greatest pitcher of all time on our team, which is great. I don't know if he's 100%, but I think he's
up to code, though. He'll be up to snuff.
I'd be amazed if even with the ball flying out, I would be amazed if there's more than 4 or 5 runs today.
5 or 6.
Why? You're talking about a guy that on any given night can give you 9 scoreless. And I was going to say that the factor of the weather, and it's 105 degrees outside, actually favors the Dodgers, in my opinion.
Well, I
don't agree, because Houston has better offense and the ball is carrying. And Houston, if they make contact, especially with Kershaw giving up a lot of home runs this year, he's almost given up 30 home runs this year.
Yeah.
And you're going against a power hitting team. So I would say the advantage is with the Astros right now.
But barely, because don't sleep. The Dodgers put up some good.
The Dodgers actually led the league in home runs, I do believe, or close to it.
Yeah, I think one of the problems that the Dodgers are going to have as well, what I was talking about earlier, is that they've never seen Dallas Keuchel.
Well, this is the same problem that I think that the Astros have against Clayton Kershaw for the young guys. Now, Jose Altuve's seen him. Some of the other guys. This is a great series, just top to bottom. I think that the frontline starters minus Clayton Kershaw, the advantage is with the Astros, because they seen Yu Darvish a lot in playing when he was in Texas, and they hit him well. That's a problem. I don't, and I think it's unanimous. None of us really believe in Rich Hill. Rich Hill's been pitching above his head, and if he continues, God bless him.
Right,
that'll be amazing if Rich Hill can continue to pitch at the level that he's been pitching. He's been working out of a lot of trouble against the Cubs and against the Diamondbacks, and what I've seen, the Astros don't seem to let you get out of that trouble.
No.
They let you get out of that trouble if they're on the road. Sorry. And that's what, what's his name? That's what Dave Roberts has lined up, is for Rich Hill to pitch at home. Now, bullpen-wise, you're talking about arguably the greatest bullpen in the baseball history that's out there. They've gone 58 innings with no runs scored.
But
I don't like that.
I know, because the odds say that you got to give it up. The odds say that you got to give it up.
Right. And however, though, the confidence plays so heavily when you're a reliever.
It does. And then there's something else that goes with that, though, which is I actually think the Astros bullpen is not as bad as they showed us.
No.
I think they were mismanaged.
Yes.
Because Davinsky's been effective, as everybody who plays fantasy knows. Davinsky's been effective all year.
But if you put him in the wrong situations, then he's not effective. Which
if you bring in Will Harris in the wrong situation,
and
Justin Turner's going to bust his head.
And try to overpower somebody like Justin Turner.
It's not going to work for you. And we're Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
It ain't going to work out the right way.
That's not the matchup that you're looking for.
Don't ever bring in Liriano against the Dodgers. Don't disrespect the Dodgers like that.
I think you can bring him in against some of those lefties.
But here's the other thing. You got
throw strikes.
Keuchel and Verlander for 1 and 2.
It's awesome.
Right? And then it's Morton.
No, Lance McCullers.
McCullers and Morton, right?
Yeah. McCullers is very good.
Darvish and Wood. We have the advantage is way deep in our court there. The only problem is we are in Houston, and they play very well in Houston.
Well, I don't know. They actually play well on the road as well, because they just had a hard time against the Yankees.
They played well on the road. That's a good point. They played well on the road all season. They just couldn't beat the Yankees in New York for some reason.
This time, but they had handled the Yankees all year.
And I actually think that's because the lights got too bright for A.J. Hinch.
Yes.
I really believe that.
Because he made a lot of bad decisions.
Oh, man, and they weren't ready to play.
No.
They made errors. This is the same reason Cleveland is at the house.
Exactly.
In my opinion, Cleveland's still the best team in baseball. But
no doubt.
But they played bad baseball.
And
Terry Francona didn't have the team ready.
Yes.
Edwin Encarnacion got hurt, which changed the whole dynamic of everything. But you can't make 3 errors in a postseason game and expect to win the game. It's just not how baseball works.
Nor should you playing for the 5th game when you already have the lead. You should
2-0.
Yeah, you need to put your foot on their neck and
you got to
hit the pedal, man. You got to hit the pedal.
You got to play.
You got to get him out of there.
You got to get your man's thumb off your neck, brother.
Come on, man.
Yeah, jive turkey. So this is gonna be just a clash of the Titans. OG prediction.
Dodgers in 6.
Everybody's giving me Dodgers in 6.
I would say Dodgers in 4, but I don't want to be disrespectful.
Well, I'm going to be disrespectful because if the Astros beat Clayton Kershaw tonight, it might be the Astros in 4. If the Astros beat Clayton Kershaw tonight, they might sweep the Dodgers.
Wow.
I'm going to say something so depressing.
Say it.
You know, growing up
I'm already down.
Growing up in Los Angeles, I always had this like privileged sports inheritance, right?
Yeah, we're winners.
Yes.
And the Dodgers have just been the Brooklyn Bums. I did not realize until this series against Chicago that they had never won a pennant. They had not won a game in the second round of the playoffs since '88.
Crazy, right?
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
So they've been swept plenty of times. But you know what?
And that's what I'm saying, because just like you were talking about the confidence factor really sets in, especially against these young guys, if you can beat the best pitcher in baseball. Just like they gave the Yankees hope.
He's going to be so tough.
He's going to be tough tonight.
He's going to be so tough.
But I just say that they have a puncher's chance tonight just because of the weather and because of them not seeing Dallas Keuchel before. I think that plays big. So either they're going to bust Dallas Keuchel up or this is going to be tight all the way until the end.
I'm going to tell you something. Turner Ward, the batting coach of the Dodgers, I never knew him as a player. He has turned this team around.
Common cards. I had a lot of Turner Ward used to play for the Braves, right?
I thought he was with the Yankees.
It was the Yankees.
Yeah.
He's been with the Yankees.
He has turned this team around. They approach their at bats differently. They approach each at bat differently.
Mm-hmm.
They
make adjustments.
There's no pressure on them, on the hitters. This team is seeing the ball, eyes wide open. I don't think. Listen, I love this young Houston team. I just think they outclassed right now.
I really don't think so. And one of the reasons I was telling him earlier, which we, of course, disagree on, is that Houston had a harder road to go through. So they had to face Severino. They had to face CC Sabathia. They had to face Tanaka.
They've had to face a lot of good pitchers.
We faced
Chris
Greinke,
Sale.
Lester.
Oh, that you know. I mean,
Arrieta.
Come on, those are mediocre pitchers. Greinke is not a great pitcher. Everybody said Johnny Cueto is better.
I have to agree with that. Even though here's the thing that the Dodgers did do. The Dodgers beat people. The thing that I like about the Dodgers,
great teams.
The Dodgers can beat you however you want it. That's the part that's impressive about the Dodgers. You want a 1-0 game? Guess what? We got a guy for that. And the guy that might give us the 1 run might be the same guy that doesn't give you any runs.
Right.
You want to mash out? Guess what? We got Thump with us.
Yeah.
I have to give my take. I've been so impressed with the Dodgers all year because I'm like you. I've been waiting for the other shoe to drop.
And it never dropped.
Although
no. Winning.
They had their losing spell
at the right time.
And it was a little spooky,
and
too.
Someone said something on the radio yesterday, I forgot who, they said that's where they became a better team.
I agree.
You have to lose, though.
I agree.
That's the law of averages.
No, it's not just losing. Like, they were terrible.
They were bad.
Yes, but
and
baseball.
I read an article that was incredible. This is where Dave Roberts is that X factor, in my opinion. Yeah. If you look at that 10-game, 12-game losing streak that they went on, right? And I think during that stretch, they went 2-19 or something because it was like 2 back-to-back streaks. There was 3 guys in the bullpen who gave up 90% of the runs.
And they're not on the
and they are not on the roster anymore.
And you know what else?
That's a move that nobody ever makes.
Yeah. That is also when Adrian Gonzalez came back. They tried to insert him in first base, and Corey got injured, and he missed games, and the dynamic changed.
Yeah, and Cody got injured.
If
you remember, Cody Bellinger, he sat down for a little bit, and he came back. It took him a minute to get his swag back.
And that's why I freaked out when they left Corey off the postseason roster.
In the second round. I thought they were going to lose against the Cubs because of that. Of that. I really did.
But seeing them rebound, seeing that this new nucleus that they have, these guys, they really play for each other.
They sure do.
They lift each other.
They believe.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna add another
thing with the Astros.
I agree.
I wanted to go to Game 7. I want to see who can.
This is what I was gonna say. I actually think the series goes deep.
Game 7's in the ravine.
Game 7.
You want that?
I want it.
Yeah, I want it.
Game 7. Too much pressure.
You're gonna come up from Albuquerque, AAA team, and come up and just
isotopes.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Let me tell you something. Honestly, I think that Game 7, the Dodgers win if it goes 7 because you got Clayton Kershaw in the Game 7. You can't ask for anything more than that.
But except for all hands on deck, and it matters how everything falls.
Can you mention All-Star
McCullers and Verlander?
No, then that's okay. We got Kersh. These moves that the Dodgers made for Tony, and I said it on the OZone because I'm a very big fan of Tony Watson. And a very big fan of Tony Cingrani.
I love Tony Watson.
I love Tony Watson because I watch a lot of Pirates. I watch a lot of Reds games because of him, and I watch a lot of Pirates games.
Squad.
Exactly.
Cingrani plays games. That's what I would leave him off the roster. Cingrani.
No, he hadn't played games this season. Not so far.
I know. I've followed him ever since he's come through the minor league system. And I was very disappointed. Because what is it going to take for you to get over the hump?
Because tomorrow it's going to be another 102 degrees, and Justin Verlander is going to be bringing
he didn't care what it was.
Clayton's going to have to be undeniably brilliant. He's going to have to carve his name in stone.
I agree.
I don't know if that.
This is greatness.
You know what?
Greatness is right in front of you.
Yeah,
it's right in front of you, Kirsch.
Yeah, this is like historical.
This is it. You can shut up everybody. I'm so tired. But
like you said, I think he's got his back hurt.
I actually think his back is hurt.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a little while now.
For the whole playoffs.
Don't feel like
and that is a big liability.
It is a big liability because everybody knows that once he's
when he's on 100%,
there's not even a question in the game
who's the best pitcher in baseball.
He is the best pitcher,
including Mad Max.
Yeah, he's the best pitcher in baseball probably for the last 5-6 years or something like that.
Seriously.
So I mean, it's not even in question. But right now, there's a question mark. I mean,
he looked really good against the Cubs in that game. No, I can't wait. Now,
the same thing.
I love
every pitcher that has
too.
come to us, the same thing has happened.
Yeah, Kevin Brown.
Yeah.
No. No, I mean like against us in our path to the World Series. Chris Taylor forced his way onto this squad.
He sure does, and he puts so much pressure.
He is a tough out.
He is a tough AB.
And whether it's his first time around or second time around,
he's going to touch you.
He's going to get on base.
And he's going to cause a problem.
And he's going to score.
He's going to get on base, and he's going to put pressure on you to pitch to Justin Turner.
He's on base, and then you got JT, and you got Bellinger. And I don't care what you say. Them pitchers know what Bellinger will do to you.
No, they do.
No. They respect that.
There's no doubt about it.
I'm just saying that against a guy like Dallas Keuchel that he's never seen before, he's going to have a problem because Dallas Keuchel and all these other pitchers, because he's a great player, but he's not there completely yet because he has a big hole in his swing.
Terry,
Cody Bellinger.
Every pitcher he saw this year, he saw for the first time.
Ooh, great
and
point.
He saw some
That's
great pitchers.
Yeah, but that was to his advantage. But that was to his advantage. But as the season progresses and they write a book on you, and these guys have been sitting back and watching, they've been sending scouts out to the stadium to watch the holes in his swing,
and they still haven't been able to stop him.
Well, they have been able to stop him. They slowed him down a little bit.
When Cody Bellinger goes in the dugout, he pulls up an iPad, he sits with Turner Ward, and he watches at bats.
ABs.
Yeah, and
not only his, he watches Keuchel, and he goes up there with the plate.
And Dallas Keuchel goes in there and does the same thing.
That's great. And he says,
"This is why they're gonna play."
No, but here's the best. But this is what I wish a commentator would say. He's going up there. He's waiting for that one pitch or mistake. So he's like, I'm waiting on this Keuchel fastball right here. If he beats me with the breaking ball or beats me with the slider, whatever, then he beats me. But if he makes a mistake or he throws that fastball in the wrong place, I'm going to sit on it and I'm going to hit out the park.
And we might, everybody's looking for a great pitcher tonight. With the way the weather is right now,
honest to God,
you might see 6, 7, 8, 9.
It might be
Clayton's
9-7.
a Texas boy, and,
I agree.
And they play in Houston.
Yeah, but they play on.
Well, they play in the dome.
Yeah, and not only that,
the dome's retractable.
Well,
but they never allow it to get to be 105.
And not only that, when you get out there, man, and you're in the World Series, both of these teams for the first time in a long time,
it's going to be a lot of.
Is baseball a superstitious sport?
100,000%.
Is Tommy Lasorda sitting ringside?
He is.
Game over. That's it. Game over.
You claim it.
Who you got? Nolan Ryan? No, he went to Texas. Who the Astros have?
Well, it is Nolan Ryan, actually.
I thought he left the Rangers.
It's the Nolan Ryan.
See, they talked to him,
he's a bum.
And they asked him. He's got some fastball for you as soon as you walk out of the door. No, he
got Phil Negro.
They asked him about. They got Mike Scott.
Oh, split me too.
Crazy splitter. They asked him they asked him about Jose Altuve, how he would have got him out, and he was like, "Well, it's a tough one. I would have had to change my approach every time." He was being very modest because Nolan Ryan would have figured out how to get him out.
Yeah, of course.
I tell y'all, Nolan Ryan would have got him out.
I was throwing it at his chin.
And Nolan Ryan would have hit him. And then Jose Altuve would never again in life be like, "Are you kidding me?
100 something on my elbow?
I'm out. I'm out.
Doubt.
Or my helmet?
Or my
Nolan Ryan was mean.
Oh, yeah, he was supposed to be mean.
Yeah.
And he kept everybody under control because he was mean.
Lay your theory out real quick. The one that we talked about Aaron Judge and how everybody needs to slow down Aaron Judge.
Oh, because they need to pitch inside to him. They actually need to hit him because he's too comfortable at the plate. You need to actually hit guys like Aaron Judge and the Stantons and everything else because it slows them down. Because what you have to do is to put a measure of fear in them so they're not so comfortable in the box so they get in there and just tee off and look and lean over the plate and just take big hacks.
Rizzo too.
Terry, where would you have to hit Aaron Judge so
anywhere
he would feel it?
I tell you what,
chin, I mean, we can hit him.
If you throw 100 miles an hour, or even anywhere in the 90s, anywhere you hit him, he'll feel it. Baseball's hurt.
I don't know. I was about to say, even when you get hit by a guy throwing 85, it hurts.
Bad.
Yeah, it hurts.
And all you want to do is to make him move his feet.
That's it.
Because what he's not doing is moving his feet. He's very, very comfortable. How many times have you actually, if you go back and look at all of his at bats, have you ever seen guys really consistently come inside to him? And that's how you get people out. Because
that's how you've got.
That's how the big guys get you out
for 100 years.
Just like Clayton Kershaw gets everybody out.
So do you think Aaron Judge is more Ryan Howard than Mark McGwire?
I think Aaron Judge would make the adjustment. I just think the pitchers need to hit him.
I don't think Aaron Judge is Mark McGwire. I think Aaron Judge has the potential to be actually a good hitter.
Yes,
right.
I think he's not just a power guy.
He's like a Canerco.
And he's a great athlete. Better. I think because he's fast. Actually, you watch him run. He's fast.
Yeah. He's fast.
And he made some big plays out there.
Stole Gurriel's home run.
Gurriel's home run. Another clutch hit by Gurriel that went by the wayside.
Can we have a little cultural moment here?
Let's do it.
Since we haven't been in the world. Well, not really. Let's an economic thing.
Let's do it.
Because my friend Omar blessed me with a ticket for tomorrow, and I'm very grateful.
Are you gonna cry?
I might cry, but I was shocked. Listen, my team hasn't been in the World Series in a long time, so I really can't speak on inflation. But the amount of the price put on the tickets.
You have to be on television to be able to afford to go to the World Series.
So how do they set, like, what these diehard, lifelong Dodger fans are now, like, what they're dropping, like, house payments for a team.
And you know what? And I don't really feel that either because this is one of the problems with most of the sports nowadays.
Sure is.
They cannibalize themselves because you're keeping out the people who actually literally support these teams.
But are there enough people to buy 55,000 tickets at the minimum value of $1,000?
Well, herein lies the problem. That's face value is not $1,000 to sit where you want to sit when you're Joe fan. That's not. It's a couple $100 from the Dodgers. That ticket right there,
it's StubHub.
But see, StubHub isn't the Dodgers.
Right.
I understand that, but
that's what I'm saying. So you really can't put that on the Dodgers, but to a certain degree.
Right.
No, I'm not blaming the Dodgers here.
You're just talking about in life.
It's sports in general.
It's just the system. It's sort of like, is this just how it goes?
It is how it goes, and they keep jacking up prices. Cool. It's why we gave up our Clippers season tickets last year, other than the fact that the Clippers weren't serious about anything.
Wow.
Terrible.
The two of you.
They really hurt my feelings. I spent all that money. I bought the freaking no.
They didn't have the heart to
with
play.
CP3. I'm saying last year.
Yeah, they really weren't interested in playing.
I paid all this money for season tickets when we found out we were going to be shooting in LA, which broke my heart. And then I was like, Mom's taking you to the Warrior game. Our mother's a basketball junkie now.
Diehard Warrior fan.
So we take her to the game. We could have left in the first quarter. The Clippers turned the ball over the first 5 possessions, and within the first 5 minutes of the game, the Warriors were up by 15.
And they act like they don't care.
And that was the thing.
Yeah, but they're like our only silver lining.
And then I saw him. And then I saw him the next night. I saw him that night. I dropped my mom off, and I saw them that night at Catch, laughing and joking. Hey, what's up, dog? Hey, man, ballers, man. Like, yo, man, what you doing?
You just got blew out, dude.
You just got blew out. You have no pride, but you have a lot of money. Yeah. So, speaking of that, speaking of the pride, once again, the character that my character is named after on the show has hit us with some more buffoonery. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Charles Barkley.
Ball coming off a 29-point night.
No, you got him coming off a 6-point night.
Okay, hey, don't do me like that.
No, he played.
I'm a Laker fan.
I know he played last night. You gonna skip a game? Okay, nice try though.
What do you think about that though? I mean, like a performance like that. You said guys had his number.
Well, I think guys are going at him. I think he's a nice kid. I think he's going to be a heck of a player. But his dad has put so much pressure on him, he make people not like him. So them boys going to be going at his head.
If you were in the league, would you?
I would have been going at his head. No question.
You would have been on.
Oh yeah, would have been talking to him the whole time about his daddy. Yeah.
So this is a bad thing, good thing.
No, it's not a good thing. His dad put him under that type of pressure on him, because his dad couldn't play dead. And now he's got everybody not liking his son, so his son gonna have to deal with that.
But the guy, look, so an NBA guy called him out the night after his debut where he didn't have a good game.
I know, so he gonna do that.
Beverly, Patrick Beverly.
Yeah, I know.
And then he comes back and pops off.
Or he played against the Suns, that doesn't count. The Suns just fired that coach. Suns not playing at all, so that doesn't count.
You see what happened with Bledsoe today?
Yeah.
Is that his fault?
Yes, his fault.
He shouldn't have. I mean, look, the coach gets fired, then he says, I don't want to be here.
No, somebody paying you $15 million a year, you shouldn't say ever, I don't want to be here.
Now that I agree with. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Charles Barkley talking about Lonzo Ball, LeVar Ball, and Eric Bledsoe and the fiasco going on down in Phoenix. Let's start with Lonzo Ball. I'm very impressed with the way that the kid bounced back. And unlike everybody else in the world, including Charles Barkley, I love LeVar Ball. I love what LeVar Ball has done by putting his son under pressure. Because you know what? LeVar Ball has been at the house for 19 years with his son.
Grooming him.
And he knows what pushes his buttons. The kid is 19 years old.
And the kid is nice.
The kid can finish at the rim.
Kid is nice. And I love
I
love LeVar Ball as well.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? You see,
Lonzo ain't losing twice in 1 week.
You see Boogie Cousins taking a picture with them. The players love him, man.
Of course. What's wrong with that guy? That guy there's nothing wrong with what he's doing, supporting his kid.
No, when you take light, people shoot at you. That's what it is.
And that's what it is.
But you know what? You cannot be great unless you're willing and brave enough to step into the light.
Yes, preach.
And, Lonzo could be great, but at some point, he's going to have to step into the light. Right?
Oh, yeah. But for now.
Charles Barkley, when Charles Barkley played, people were like, I hate that dude.
Sure did. He came with the I am not a role model, the blah, 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 the blah, blah, blah.
Like, you got to, Kobe, I'll leave Kobe aside, but When you are
a lot of people didn't like Kobe when he first started. You remember he came out
when he raped
and airball. When he came out I'm sure she definitely didn't like him. But when he came out and he airballed those shots pre veil raping.
Yeah, but like, you know, let's be 100. Kobe's an asshole on the court. Like, people didn't like him.
Exactly.
He's a beast, though. I love it. I love that. I
loved him when he first came in the league. Later on, I didn't really care for him. I didn't care for the way he carried himself. I didn't care for the part where the selfishness of it all.
That him and Shaq couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, and it was more so him than Shaq, because I felt like Shaq was trying to be more of a team player than Kobe was at that point. You know, but
we digress.
Yeah, but we digress.
Ball is like, come on, man.
Exactly, man.
He's 19. The problem is the whole team is too young. They look.
Yeah, they need a different kind of veteran that they don't have.
They don't look together, and maybe it's like football. Like, they don't have their strength. Like, when you train for football, you don't really have your muscles till you're on the field getting hit. Right, so they need to be out on the court and get hit. So I don't think you're going to know what kind of team we have until
2-3 years.
No, like All-Star break.
I'm talking about for the future, because I really don't feel like they're going to be where everybody thinks that they are until for a couple of years at least. And
you don't think they have their franchise player?
Lonzo Ball might be the franchise player, but he has to develop. People don't want to.
I think they have the franchise player, and I think it's the other kid,
Brandon
Ingram.
Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I think it's Ingram. I think Ingram is the franchise player.
And you have those
nice.
Yeah, but they have those two guys.
He's got to get some weight.
And they have to develop.
They're children.
Right.
They're still
children.
kids.
Right, like Lonzo may grow 4 more inches.
He might.
And even if he doesn't, he needs to bulk up a little bit.
And he might thicken up.
He is a baby.
Ingram will definitely thicken up.
He's starting to thick up already.
Yeah.
Google Troy Garity, 19. I'll show you what I look like.
Same with Terry.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's why they call me T-Bone, because I couldn't gain weight. I mean, I don't care if you put weight on me.
I didn't even have facial hair.
Are you kidding?
Yeah,
I barely have it now.
So,
So and another kid that I'm very impressed with, though, in the league is Ben Simmons.
Oh my God!
But he that Jones fracture last year held him down.
It ain't holding him down now.
He's putting up triple doubles.
Are you crazy? That kid is out there getting the job done.
There's a lot of nice kids out there right now.
And now your boy Greek Freak is literally top 5 players in all of basketball.
Yeah.
And it's clear. It's not like there's this is.
I felt like that last year.
I remember you said that.
Yeah,
it was evident. The kid is really special.
Yeah, he's a very special
Same with
player.
KAT. Same with Carl Anthony. Like,
man, that squad, I almost call them the Twins. That T-Wolves squad is going to be serious trouble, right? Not this year, but about a year.
I think they're going to be trouble right
this
now.
Year, they could be.
His handles it's amazing. I love basketball.
And you know what? The Pelicans are flying under the radar. They need. I don't know if it's Drew Holiday or what it is. They have very formidable talent.
Yes.
They have formidable talent between Drew Holiday, the Brow, and Boogie.
Yeah.
They just
they have to gel.
They got to put it together. Yeah, but now they're okay. We're in the new season now. We got to start with the gelling with Magellan. Yeah. Well, we got
Lakers need an enforcer too.
Well, the Lakers need an identity more so than anything. I think that's one of the biggest problems, because they really don't have a guy who's the go-to guy. We say Brandon Ingram, but he hasn't developed
to that yet.
He's not there yet.
But they're going to get it, and they're going to get it because they got Jerry West,
and they have
Jerry
crazy.
West,
those kids have talent.
No two ways about it. I actually like your man. I've always liked Muscle Man's game. The lefty, Julius Randle.
I love Julius.
He plays hard. He's the kind of guy you hate playing against.
Yeah.
Because he's all over the place. He's super physical. He makes the game uncomfortable. He's the kind of guy that tore my meniscus and pulled my shoulder out. He's the reason why I'm actually completely out of shape. It's because
he's the reason why you're doing a podcast.
He's the reason I'm doing a podcast, and I can no longer throw 92. He's the reason. He's the Julius Randle type.
Thanks a lot, Julius.
Julius Randle-esque. That kind of guy. Grab my shoulder when I got a rebound, pull my arm back.
I love it, but he's got a lot to prove, or he's not going to be on team next year.
Yeah, that's
got a lot to prove. Well, the Lakers are in a point, a la the Dodgers, because they're in the greatest city here in the world. They're saying, hey, look, we don't lose. So either you're going to be a part of the problem or you're going to be a part of the solution. And Julius, you've been here long enough so that we need to determine this year if you are A or B.
Right. Well, he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Right. So he can get paid.
Yes.
So
wanted to send a.
But they're not good enough to bring in a Paul George or a
Well, this is
crazy, but the King is not coming to this team.
You don't think so? What do you think? He's going to the Clippers or?
Why would he come here?
It's been rumored for a couple of years that he's coming here.
Yeah,
I would feel like he should go to the Clippers.
They make these rumors.
He should go to the Clippers, and that's supposed to be one of the reasons why they brought in the Jerry West type, right? So that they can get him to come on,
Clippers.
Yeah. The Clippers, they want to wrangle him in here.
I think they'd be great.
I don't think he's staying in Cleveland, honestly.
I don't think he's staying in Cleveland either. I'm just talking about he's not going to the Lakers. I don't think the Lakers have the pieces right now. That could change by the All-Star break that are attractive for someone who's trying to make, the twilight run of their career just because their son is in a certain school district. So
a lot of that. A lot of rumors about that. I want to give you guys a little insight on what I did this weekend. I ran down to Austin for the past couple days.
I saw that.
And I was welcomed with open arms to the motorsports world.
Wow.
I was asleep on it. They opened the doors of the church to me because they were fans of the production that Terry and I produced for tennis.
You
tennis
are
channel
down
for Advantage
with
Omar.
Pennzoil Posse?
And I'm I'm down with OPP.
Okay.
And so so I ended up, this was a crazy situation. I go down there, and I've never been before. The track itself, unlike a lot of the tracks which are based in the cities, this track is actually far out of the city. And you go out there, it's a 4-mile track, 3.8-mile track, so it's a big track. So where you sit is important, being at the right turn and so on and so forth. So I had a fly seat set up they had blessed me with that was at the turn, a hairpin turn where all of the action happens. People pass people, close to the finish line and blah, blah, blah. Well, that turned out to not be enough access because the guy that's the president of Formula One, some people found out that I was there. They decided to give me super access to something that's called the grid, which was awesome. And I'm actually just recently became a part of the IWC watch family, and they found out I was there. And thank God I brought my beautiful IWC pilot watch. And they said, hey, how would you like to meet Lewis Hamilton at noon? I'm just like, yeah, I think I'd like to do that. Well, come to find, Lewis and I have a lot of stuff in common. Cool dude, young dude, very happy for him. Monster athlete, the best driver in the world. And his other guests were Usain Bolt and some internet sensation actors. The homie Andrew Batchelor, also known as King Batch online, his homegirl Amanda Cherney, and my pal Hill Harper. We had a blast, and they would have put me in the 2-seater, and he would have drove me around, but I was too tall. Once again, height strikes once again. So, I had a great time before the race. It's a really cool setting. It's an international, diverse crowd. This thing.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
And so this was the cool part, right? Is that I go to there. Each team has a garage where they're actually putting on, putting the cars together because each team has 2 drivers, and then they have the actual motorhome where they all watch the races. Gourmet food. It's kind of like the Dugout Club at Dodger Stadium. They went back and made us a fresh bowl of pasta just for us, and the whole song and dance.
It's crazy.
Side note: chilling with Usain Bolt, cool as a fan.
Terry thinks he's overrated.
That's one guy who Terry actually does not think is overrated.
I would have had back in the day. I would have liked to have raced Usain Bolt.
He is somebody's got to be overrated in this scenario. But he was a cool dude. Man, he was a cool dude.
I bet.
And we were eye to eye. It was great to meet him and see his dimensions. You know what I mean? He's a big dude. Obviously super lean. So we go in the thing and it's cool. We all meet up, and then they're like, somebody runs out from Formula One and they're like, here's your VIP access to the grid. I was like, all right, what's the grid?
What is the grid?
Thank you. I meet from the star of a film in the motorhome that I loved, named Niki Lauda. Niki Lauda was the subject of Ron Howard's movie Rush.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I love that movie. The German.
Wow.
Yes, the other star of the movie actually passed away. So he wasn't there. So Niki is there. I knew exactly who he was because of how well he was portrayed in the film and the accident, and his face is burnt up and his ears are burnt up and a whole very distinct looking man. And I went and I talked to him. He showed love. He knew who I was. And we had a conversation because they had their first scenario of pomp and circumstance at the Formula One race. They don't do it anywhere else in the world because it was Texas. They literally rolled out a red carpet to announce the drivers. Michael Buffer announced it, so I ran into the homie. We talked boxing. And we were talking about that, and that led us to start talking about President Cheeto and all this other stuff. And Nicky and I got along really well. He told me, "This is your first race?" I said, "Yeah, you watch with me." Literally, I got to watch the race sitting next to Nicky Lauda, one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time.
Wow.
And he gave me a tutorial so I knew what I was watching, and it changed the whole game. Totally fascinating racing now. I'm all in. I love it. And what he would do was, it was like how Mr. Horton would take us around the Tiger Stadium. He would take me to places where they're like no cameras and blah, 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 and people would try to come up and say something with me, and he would shoot him a look like, come to find that he's part owner of the Mercedes AMG team. And that's why.
Oh, really?
And he took me around. I was on his hip, Jack. I was on his hip. He takes me to the grid. The grid is, before the race starts, all of the cars line up, starting with pole position, like the video game we all used to play. So Lewis is in the very front, but there's a whole parade of 20 cars or something like that where they're all lined up waiting to start the race. You're out there on the track with all the drivers and the mechanics and everybody. They have warmers for the tires because you have to actually heat the tires to a certain temperature before the race starts. All of the mechanics, the fuel, cranking the engine up. I mean, the technology on this thing is insane. The technology on the cars are crazy. And so I'm walking. I'm trying to do an Instagram Live, and what's interesting is that the reception was bad, really terrible. Bad in Austin, and my Instagram Live suffered from it. But out past me walks President Clinton. All kind of people were out there. President Clinton walks past. I was like, whoa, it's Bill Clinton. I keep it moving. He's got a bunch of Secret Service around looking like they want to give me the. And so I didn't want none. So I just went and started talking to Nicky. We hung out. And then I'm walking off the track. President Clinton gives me the finger point. He gives me the Derek Jeter and calls me over. Starts chopping up with me about my career and all this stuff. This guy is super
Have you ever met him before?
Yeah.
Really, I mean, and he, what's the cool part? He looked strong. He didn't look frail and feeble.
He's one of those dudes that when he gets you and locks in with you, it's like he's taking you.
He's a real politician.
Yeah, he's really good at it.
Yeah. And so we had a great conversation.
He's blessed with real special people power.
He has extreme charisma.
Yeah.
And you're talking to a charismatic dude, and I could recognize him like, wow.
Yeah, no.
And thank God, so Lewis was getting in his car. His brother's out there with him. His brother's also on this team. And so Lewis is, while he was preparing to get in the car, his photographer was walking with me, so that's how I got all those awesome photos. Wow. So he was taking pictures, great shots. His guy's name is Ripke. Look him up. I gave him photo credit on the thing. Great ad on the gram. And only person I didn't get to meet was Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas was right behind me. One of my favorite movie stars of all time.
He's amazing.
Great guy. He looked like he just got off the set of Romancing the Stone 8. He was in some fly linen.
Got throat cancer.
Yeah.
From cunnilingus.
From that box. From that box. He was slurping on that box.
Wanda Sykes is like, that's funny. I've eaten a lot of pussy. I've never got that. Sorry.
That human beatbox. So, yeah.
He's amazing.
So he seemed very nice. He was talking to everybody.
I love it. Omar was like, yeah, I was with the greatest race car driver ever and hanging out with President Clinton,
fastest guy of all time.
I didn't get to meet Michael Douglas.
I really wanted to. I grew up. What a letdown. He's one of my favorites ever. I grew up going to the movies with my mom. I remember going to watch Jewel of the Nile, Romancing the Stone.
He was hot in the 80s.
Oh, he was the hottest in the 80s. Who's hotter than him in the 80s?
Fatal Attraction?
Who's hotter than him in the 80s? Really? Who's hotter than him in the 80s?
Well, no one, but plus his...
What about Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe the only one.
Yeah.
One of my other faves. But I don't know. Harrison Ford was bigger. Yeah, but there was a specificity. There's also
God,
Michael Douglas catches you actors, across the board.
Producing. Did he direct Traffic or just produce it? Star in
I think he was he produced it. What's his name? Soderbergh did Traffic.
Was he bad? Catherine Zeta,
at an old age.
I mean,
he's a KG vet.
He's KG vet. You know how strong his game probably is. His rap is so strong.
Totally. And his dad was like, "Son, this is how you do it."
Big Kurt. The ropes.
His dad was a stud. Kurt Douglas,
Spartacus, dude. For real. That's back when you're like, I know how to drive the horse.
No stunt man. That's you on an actual horse-drawn carriage. Yeah. So there was a very cool experience. Lewis ends up winning the race.
Wow.
I'm on Nicky's hip the whole time. The race is almost over, and he's like, okay, it's under control now. We go to the garage. And he said at that point that was the only thing that was a concern was if there's a malfunction with the vehicle or something like that. So we go to the garage. I'm not supposed to be there. Of course, I get access because of Nikki. Lewis pulls in. People go crazy. Parade. They take him up to the top. Usain Bolt and him do the arrow thing. You know, President Clinton gives him the trophy. This was a big championship win. It's going to be his fourth year in a row, which is insane. Wow. Which now means after he wins, after it becomes official, there's only Michael Schumacher is the only driver who has more than him ever. And he's only 30 years old, this kid. And so I'm like, wow, what a great day. I'm hanging out, drinking champagne, you know, it's a big deal because it's a team sport. That's the thing I didn't understand. It's a real team, you know. So then he's like, they're about to go do their actual winner circle team picture. And I was standing in the back and Nikki was like, come on. I was like, what? He's like, okay, you're on the team? That was my German.
Oh, my God.
It needs some help. I responded to him. I was like, what?
What is this?
Yeah. And so I end up, the tallest guy there is me and Usain Bolt, and we end up in the front row on a knee. And you want to hear some comedy? We had a great conversation about bad knees and being tall and on your knee when you know you're supposed to stand at the back of the team picture. Damn. And what did they do? It was a big fat setup. They had me and Bolt on our knee in the front, and then they turn the tables. Usually the team pours the champagne on the driver. Lewis Hamilton decided to turn the champagne on us. Hill Harper decided to use me as a crutch, so I couldn't stand up. I already got a bum knee. You know I got a bum knee, Hill. So he pushes me down. I end up paralyzed, and Hamilton pours a whole magnum of Moët on my back.
Wow. So you're saying a group of German men asked you to get on your knees and then poured champagne on you? And
this is the Steele dossier.
That sounds like car racing that I've heard of.
Always an interesting visit with Troy OG.
Yeah. In that Texas heat, it was hellish.
It was wet. It really was.
Did they give you one of those jumpsuits like a Mercedes-Benz?
No, but they gave me one in Indy, and it was fly. Actually, it looked really good on it.
I love those.
But they didn't let me keep it. I should have just walked out in it.
You could be like a real mediocre man, but if you put on a race car suit.
What? You're a stud.
Are those things like astronaut suits or something?
Yeah, because they're flame retardant. Yeah. I did get a dope head sleeve, though. So I could walk around like with the head sleeve, like what's up?
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience. Shout out to F1, COTA, Circuit of the Americas, IWC, and the Mercedes AMG squad headed by Lewis Hamilton. A lot of love.
Did they give you an invite to go to one of the racing tracks?
They gave me an invite to come to Mexico City this Thursday to go to the next race, and I told them that the Dodgers made the World Series, so I can't fade them. And so then they extended the invite to Abu Dhabi around Thanksgiving. I was like, damn, it's Thanksgiving. They were like, what? The choice is yours.
What can you do?
Hotness.
Like, bye, Mom.
It was a great experience. And I mean, you know, outside of the United States, this is one of the biggest sports in the world. You know, this is probably
huge.
Second behind soccer, yeah.
NASCAR is the biggest in the States, right?
Yeah. NASCAR does dumb numbers.
But Formula One internationally...
Their budget.
Is this the same thing that they do in like Monaco?
Yeah, this is it. This is that.
Is it because they sell so much merchandise, meaning like the
crazy
cars
merch? Crazy merch. I mean, it's a profitable venture. They're not. This isn't charity. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we got to go because we got to head to the stadium. Yeah. OG, you got anything else to add?
You know what? These are two teams that deserve to be here.
They sure do.
They really do. But
it's a clash of the Titans.
Yeah, but LA needs it more.
I don't know. You said
Hurricane Harvey?
Yeah.
Damn, that's harsh.
No.
We just have a heat wave.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but we had huge fires in the state of California.
Did.
I mean,
sure did.
7,000 homes were lost. You know,
sure did. But unfortunately, sports, as evidenced by 9/11 and the Yankees losing to Arizona, have nothing to do with the tragedy that your city or state have gone through. It's about to go down because this is about who's going to play the sharpest baseball. That's what I think. I think it's about who's going to execute.
I'm sorry to be so morbid,
right? Yeah, you're keeping it down.
But you know, I invite you in LA.
I invite you in to get a ticket. You start talking about cunnilingus and knees and champagne.
There's a lot of important things on the table here. Clayton Kershaw's place in the history books.
Yep. Because nobody will let him live down.
Nope.
I'm so tired of people talking about him not being big time in the postseason. Because
and it definitely
if you take away if you take away 2 starts and really only 2 innings. Even the start that when everybody started to really cement his legacy is tarnished, he gave up 3 runs over 7 innings in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And Matt Adams hit a curveball that
he wasn't playing with the best team either. That was a Yasiel Puig that wasn't up to code
yet. It sure was.
That was
he couldn't make contact. Yeah. And that's when Michael Wacha hit Hanley Ramirez in the ribs and broke his rib because Hanley Ramirez was that
knocked us out of the playoffs.
Playoffs because you couldn't get Hanley out.
Yeah. So
they couldn't get Hanley out, and Hanley's a big time ball player in that. He just doesn't turn it on all the time.
But it's just you can't put that on him. It's a pitcher. He needs help. You got to help him out. You have to score runs.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then I was just asking him, was that the most runs that you've ever seen him score for him the other day when they scored?
The 9 runs?
Yes.
Yeah. I've never seen him score
through the regular season or whatever. I've never seen him score that many runs.
Usually he's in a tight squeeze.
He's always 1-0.
And let me tell you what he did. He got up 6-0 and started to carve.
If you give him the lead, you
turn the TV off. Problems. You turn the TV off. We can leave. Yeah. If the Dodgers put up 3 runs on Dallas Keuchel in the first inning, we can go home.
And it's going to be a tough game. It's either going to be a huge blowout or it's this. I'm so not ready to be a radio announcer because there's no. This is either a blowout or this is a pitcher's duel. It's like racing. You get your fastest times against your best competition.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
So Keuchel and Clayton both know that they're going ace to ace right now. Like there's a line has been drawn in the dirt and they're going to war. So it's just going to go to the most ferocious competitor, and I don't think anyone's more ferocious than Clayton.
There it is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you got anything else to add?
That's it, man. Let's get it out.
Let's get ready to rumble. Gonna leave you with a quote from the Bible today, folks, from Proverbs 13:10. Pride only breeds quarrels, but wisdom is found in those who take advice. Ladies and gentlemen, you may want to take our advice, but you're going to have to choose between the 3 of us to determine who's going to win the World Series. This is the OZone. I am your host, Omar Miller. We were joined by special guest Troy Garity, where people can find you at
Troy OG
everywhere. And I'm here with my brother Terry Miller, known as the Icons with a Z. This is the OZone.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
OZone.